I didn't make It Gets Better video, even though Dan asked me, and Dan and Terry and DJ are old friends. And I didn't do it because I objected to the project. I think it's a fantastic project. I think it's exactly the kind of innovation that we can help change the world through personal testimony, through new media, breaking through orthodoxies to present the reality of people's lives. And as a gay man, I think the reality of our lives is something that will help us win the battle for formal civil equality. But the truth is, I was not bullied in high school. I was not tormented for being a fag or a pufta, unless I have completely suppressed it in my mind and memory. And having been through nearly 20 years of psychotherapy, I doubt it. It is not, it just hasn't been a part of my own experience as a gay person. And I think the reason for that, because I wasn't this jock in school, and I went to an all-boys rugby worshipping state school in Britain, and I loved it. I was happy as Larry in that high school. And I did a lot of, in some ways, typically gay things. Like I was in the drama team. I was in the drama performance, the school play every year. And I was on the debate team, although that's not always gay, but it often is. I ran the Christian Union for a while. But I was, insofar as I was targeted or smeared, it was because I was a nerd. I think that kind of trumped the fag question. Or in Britain, it would be more like the SWAT issue trumped the PUFTA issue. I was so regarded as super smart in my school because we were also under no illusions. We in my high school, I mean, this would terrify people today, but we would take tests all the time, and we would get judged in every subject every month and be given a grade for every subject by each teacher responsible for that subject every month. And then we would be ranked from, there were 30 of us in a class, 30, 33, something like that. And, and they would put up on the wall at the front of the classroom the rankings from 1 through 30. So you knew where you were. And I was completely surprised, I swear to God, completely surprised to show up in my first test at number 1 on the list. But that instantly defined me in the first month of the first year when I was 11 years old in that high school. I was the SWAT. Therefore, no faggotry. Not to say that I wasn't gay and there wasn't some of that about, but I was never traumatized. And so I wasn't going to lie. In my case, I was miserable for all sorts of other reasons, but they weren't to do with being gay, mainly to do with my home life. But my school life was, for me, a joy. It was a liberation. It was the place I felt really secure. It was the place I felt where I could really do things that interested me. And so I wasn't going to fake it. And I think in a way, sometimes when I think about why I have sometimes been at odds with many other people in gay politics and gay culture, I do think, upon reflection, that the absence of any real victimization of myself as a gay person in my life does change one's perspective. I do not regard myself as a victim and never have. I've always regarded myself as a victor, as it were. And the impulse for my gay politics was a demand not to be bloody well treated unequally, rather than a desperate attempt to protect myself from further harm. And those two experiences, I think, are part of the tension within gay culture. But I understand, fully understand, what kids go through. And I wouldn't say that I never felt alone or I never felt bewildered or in conflict as I grew up being gay. And so I guess I could have done It Gets Better Like That, but I think, frankly, that is extra. It is always going to be an extra hurdle for gay kids to grow into adults. But I think it's also a struggle for straight kids, frankly. And I'd rather emphasize one's success at mastering life as a gay person than the potential for failure. So the basic answer is I didn't do it because it wouldn't have been genuine. And the whole point of those things is that they're genuine. And I wasn't going to trade on my notoriety or fame in order to tell what was essentially a fib.